Sojola here. In this video, we'll be particularly looking at a foreign policy which was developed by India, right, in response to the string of pearls by China, right? This foreign policy, right, is basically known as the necklace of diamonds, right? Now, the necklace of diamonds is fundamentally a geopolitical strategy to counteract or respond, right, to the actions of China, right, in regards to the string of pearls, right? Now, when we look at China, China is trying to contain and control the influence of India in the Indian Ocean, right? And the strategy that they came up with is known as the string of pearls. Now, as a response to this foreign policy by China, India developed this geopolitical strategy, right? Known as the necklace of diamonds, right? Which is fundamentally a an attempt of India to encircle China in the same way that China has encircled India, right? Now, the nature of this foreign policy is of twofold, right? It's of a defense nature, right? And it is of an economic nature. Now, when we look at the first feature of this geopolitical strategy by India, right? The first is military in nature. So India went on making defense pacts, right? Arms deals, building navals, right? And basically having joint exercises with a number of countries that are surrounding the strings of pearl of China, right? These countries range from the Seychelles, right? Singapore, Iran, Indonesia, just to mention a few, right? So there was a number of military deals, right? As I said, defense pacts, arms deals, right? Manufacturing deals that were developed with a number of countries. For example, India sold a supersonic missile known as the BrahMos 1, right, to particularly Philippines and Vietnam, right? By doing this, India basically is creating a relationship and partnership with countries that surround or that you find around China, right? So a number of things has been happening. They've also been having joint exercises with a number of countries that you find around China, right? So this is basically the nature of the military side of the foreign policy known as the necklace of diamonds. Now, and the second feature to this foreign policy known as the necklace of diamonds, right, is economic in nature, right? India plans to develop an industrial economic corridor, particularly with countries that you find around China, right? India has focused on Central Asia, right? Where you find countries like Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, right? And in Central Asia, you find a lot of resources like oil, right, and gas. A lot of natural gas is found there, right? You can also have access to lithium and uranium, right? They also have a lot of rare earth minerals. So India decided, well, that the economic aspect of this foreign policy or geopolitical strategy, right, is basically creating economic and industrial corridors around China or with countries that sit around China, right? So that they can be able to control, right, the growing influence of China in Asia. Now, so India uses a number of methods to somehow try and increase its own influence in Asia, right? But knowing India, India has a very powerful soft power that they can play with, right? That tends to appeal to other countries. Like if we look at Mongolia, the type of deals which were developed with Mongolia, right, involved tourism, right, and an increase in diplomatic relations between the two countries. You know, Mongolia is sits at right at the border with China, right? So this method or geopolitical strategy to counteract the growing influence of China, right, basically known as the necklace of diamonds by India.